Okay guys, we've got about 2 minutes before we're supposed to start, so I'm just making sure that everything is lit up well. And you can see where we are and what we're doing. So give me 1 more minute to figure out where I'm at and what I'm doing, and then we can get started. Okie dokie, that is 4:30 on the dot. How about that? So everybody should have already gone and gotten their Corny V Russ, the 19th fob pattern. And it should be loaded on your machine. If it's not, I'll give you a second. We got a stitch order sheet right there, and I'm going to set it aside so that I can reference it when I need to. 4:30 on the dot. How about that? So, everybody. And the first thing we are definitely going to need is some medium weight cutaway. Or if you prefer tearaway, this isn't too dense of a design, tearaway will be fine. Go ahead and hoop that up. And we're going to set that. Ooh. I lost the cover plate. There it is. There we go. Looks like the spring's going on that. I'm going to set it over here. And then you will need 2 pieces of marine vinyl, 4.5 by 5 1/4. Those are way too big. I do that all the time, don't I? I don't pay attention when I'm cutting. So let's go ahead and trim those down. Otherwise, they are going to be way too much. So 4.5 by 5. Oops, wrong end of the ruler. 4.5 by 5 1/4. Yes, those look more the right size. And you will need a piece of 16 to 20 gauge clear vinyl. And you may, if it's humid where you're at, for the bottom, for the last attach, some WSS to get your vinyl to glide across. It stopped raining this morning about about 10 o'clock, so it might not be too humid. We'll see in a minute. And of course, craft herpes. Everybody got your craft herpes? On the craft herpes, it is better to have the bigger, thicker, chunkier ones rather than, do I have any of the no? I think I threw all of the no glitter away. That fine, well, there's some of the no. See how fine that is? That is a bad glitter. No matter how much you work to try and get the static electricity out of your clear vinyl, that tiny, wispy seed glitter will just stick and be awful. So we say no to that. Okie dokie. So what do we do first? Are we ready? We go ahead and stitch our die line. We stitch our die line on our stabilizer. So I, to shortcut, use the same color for my die line as my first actual stitch color. That way it saves me at least one thread change. All right, so now we're gonna float our vinyl on top of that die line. We're just gonna make sure that whole die line is covered, and it is. And this is where personal preference comes in. You can tape this down a little bit, make sure it's holding itself in place. You don't have to though, okay? I generally don't, since I am stitching in a stable environment. I don't have 75-mile-an-hour winds. There's no earthquake. The cats are not allowed in here. And I am going to hit the go button to start the lime green. And since this is a thin stitch, a sketchy stitch, it shouldn't take all that hideously long. But while it's stitching, I'm going to leave the camera in place and then go over to the laptop and see if you guys have any comments or questions. Okie dokie pokies. That is our first color stop. The lime, I'm sorry, that is our second color stop. Our first color stop was the dye line. That is the lime green. So now, because I wanted to make this thing as tacky and hideous as possible, we are going to get our bright true orange on. And that's going to do some little cooties on our virus. All right, here we go. On tearaway, I'm stitching on medium weight cutaway, but if you want to use tearaway, it's not a super dense stitch, so you can do that. Yes, Danielle, if you don't want to do the glitter, then when we put the clear plastic on, don't do that. And then when we pause to put the glitter on, you just leave it on the machine and you'll do the finished stuff. Alexis, I like the Christmas green with the gold stars, but then again, I like tacky. I like hideous. I like people to go, oh my God, what were you thinking? But if you want a subtler virus, one that sneaks in and nobody notices, then I would go with the silver. It is absolutely not wrong, Chris. The only thing that could be wrong is if you're stitching on human skin. And then you and I are going to have another one of our conversations about socially appropriate. I believe that is the call to cut jumps. All right, so I like to cut my jumps as I go along, and on trapped fobs, I highly recommend that you do so that you don't forget and then put that clear vinyl on and at the last minute go, oh! So most of these jumps are going to be nice and big and easy to cut. There are only a couple that might be a little bit dicey, but I have faith in you. I feel like I should have some background music, like Flight of the Bumblebees or Benny Hill. All right. Now, this is the first one. Okay, that's not too bad. If you've got a jump that you can't grab with your finger so that you can get nice and tight against the vinyl to get the little hair, I use tweezers. The bigger ones I just grab with my finger and pull them taut and then snip them off. But the tiny ones that don't give me any grabbing room, I use tweezers. So, the last time we did this, it was super warm and super humid. That was Tuesday? Wednesday? That was Wednesday. Today, it was still thunderstorming this morning. Quit about 10, but now it's cold, and I wore short sleeves today. That's not fair. All right. All my little jumps are taken care of. It is now time for some eyeballs. And the first color that we are going to do is white for our eyeballs. Where's my white? There it is. Ouch. I am at a very odd angle with the camera and the lamps and the this and the that, and I'm just going to sit here and complain. Y'all okay with that? All right, here we go. One eyeball down. Ha, 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 ha. Two eyeballs. Oh, 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 oh. And now it's time for some face details. So I am going to take Corny out, and he's going to have one jump, and it's going to be on a diagonal so that you don't catch those under stitches. And then we're going to put him back in. I should have brought some water in here. Whee! And where's the black? There's the black. And away we go. Oh, thank you, honey. Scott just came in and handed me a glass of water. Isn't he the sweetest? Maybe this work from home thing is not a bad deal. Lynette, it is a good thing that you bought the googly eyes. You never know when you're going to have a googly eye emergency. Scott's still technically working. Chrissy's not bringing you water all the way down in Austin. He brought me water. Of course, he brought it in an open cup into the sewing room, so we know what's going to happen. Shirley, I bet you can do that. I got some googly eyes right here. Of course, I've already stitched my eyeballs. These are look like they're 1/4 inch googly eyes. So probably here shortly, if you've got a little dab of glue, you could definitely use, let's see. Yeah, you totally could use 1/4 inch googly eyes. That would work. You just want to put a little bit of glue on them to hold them to the vinyl. But yeah, you could totally do googly eyes. All right, we need to cut these jumps. I'm kind of half tempted. Because, I mean, I've got them right there. Should I do the googly eyes, guys? What do you think? Let me go see if I've got some glue real quick. I'm still going to do the glitter, although I might change my glitter from green to purple to match his eyes. Let me go see if I have some glue to glue that down real quick. Let's see, I have a lifetime supply of baby tubes of E6000. So I think this is not on the instructions. totally understand that. But I believe I am going to googly eye this bad boy. All right, so let's open up this tube, which means I'm gonna have to think of something to glue real quick because this stuff goes bad. Okay, for those of you who are not googly eyeing your fob, because this was just a random last minute kind of thing. This is where you're gonna lay your clear vinyl over the top. I am such a child. This is where you are going to lay your clear vinyl over the top, but you're also going to attach your back. So flip the guy over. We've done all of the detail stitches. You should have stitched blurg 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are at color stop 6. So go ahead and take your back and put it on your back. And then tape it down. Flip it back over. Are those dry enough, you think? I wonder if I have some purple glitter to go with his purple eyes. I don't know. All right, so now lay your clear vinyl over the top, just like that. And we are going to stitch the tack together, or I'm going to stitch the tack together in that awful, horrible green. I swear I've had that spool forever because I never use that color green. It's like Nile green or something. Blurg. All right, put him back in. Yeah. Don't move the eyeballs. Don't move the eyeballs. Okay. If you're doing just corny and you're not going to do a trap fob, you're not going to do glitter, this is where you put the back on. Do not put your clear vinyl on top. Duh. All right. This is going to do 2 little circles for your cam snap alignment. I'm going to go paw through my box of glitter and see if I can't find some purple that matches my eyeballs. Oh, I have eyeball matching glitter. Okay, and now after those 2, that's the true orange. Now it's going to do a partial bean stitch. It's going to do a full bean stitch, but only partially around the fob. Here in a minute, it's going to stop, and this is where we get to have fun with craft herpes. For Kimberly, the clear vinyl is 16 gauge. Okay, so this is the fun part. This is trying to get glitter into that 1.5 inch hole right there without it going all over the place. So the first time I tried to do this, I used this stupid little spoon that came with the glitter kit, and I wound up wearing glitter and finding glitter everywhere. It was awful. So then Scott went on to Amazon and he found this perfume kit that you're supposed to be able to refill atomizers with perfume with these little things. The problem is you can't get that funnel down in there. So this is my home hack. All right. First of all, you need things to balance and hold. So I usually take my pen cup, okay, and I balance. Can y'all see that? I balance my hoop against my pen cup, And then I put something heavy in front so that it doesn't fall over. Then I've got one of those BPA or PBA free cups that has a hard straw. Hard straw. Not a soft, squishy McDonald's straw, but a really hard straw. And I put one end of the hard straw down inside the fob. Okay? Right into that little... can you see everything? Okay. Then I take one of my little Parfum cup funnels and put it in the end of the straw. Then I take my craft herpes and I carefully tap in a little bit of craft herpes. Now, you do not need a bunch of craft herpes. However much you think you need, use about 1/10 of that. I would say you probably need 1/8 of a tablespoon. I'm sorry, not tablespoon. 1/8 of a teaspoon of craft herpes. We got some static electricity going on today because the craft herpes do not want to come out of their container. All right, that's okay. Let's see if we can't tempt the face. Ooh. And open up. Well, this will be fun. Let's see if I can do a controlled pour. Okay, I added way more craft herpes than you probably need to because I've now got googly eyes that are keeping the plastic from together. And now I've got a jar of craft herpes that needs to go into isolation. All right, so I'm going to tap out of my funnel and tap out of my straw. And then I'm going to take all of this crap I've drug over here and gotten in the way. All right. Oh, yeah, I put way too much craft herpes in him. That's okay. Now, the key to this is I want to keep my craft herpes in there. So I'm going to tap it to this way. It's going to seal right here. And then it's going to come over here so we don't have to worry about it scratching or coming across the top of our fob. That's a dead stop. That's color stop number 9. We're not even going to sew that. It's just to force your needle head out of the way so it doesn't rip your project. See how it moved over there? All right, we are 100% done with the pattern. We are not stitching anymore. He's all closed up. I'm gonna cut my jump. Come back here, I'm gonna clean up these knots. I'm not gonna cut the knot, but I am gonna cut my threads really close to my knots so that I don't have, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Ugh. So I don't have all of that stuff all matted up and nasty back there. And now we are going to take it out of the hoop and we are going to trim him down. Yeah, I put too much craft herpes in there. My bad. Okay, and I like to fussy cut my fobs before I trim my fobs. Trim, cherry. I know I can't sing. I don't like arm wrestling this much vinyl and stabilizer and stuff. So I do 2 cuts. And I trim about 1/8 to a 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch away from my bean stitch. I also turn my fob, not my scissors. Turning your scissors makes it look a little bit herky-jerky. Turning your fob, you get a nice, good arc. Arc going on. Okay, so he's all trimmed out. Now we are going to need a cam snap and either a lobster claw or a slip ring, your choice. You're going to need 2 buttons, 1 outie and 1 innie. And I like to pre-punch. I don't use the owl that comes with the cam snap kit. I use these things, these leather punch things, and they've got several different size holes so you can change. And then I make sure that the little piece of vinyl that I've punched out actually punches out. And you put, ooh, come here, good button. There you go. You put the button in, and then I'm gonna do the innie right there. And there's my cam pliers and squinch. I'm gonna flip it over. And squinch. And since I have a feeling I know exactly who's going to claim this fob, it's going to be Nerdling number 2. She always likes the lobster claws, so she can hang them on her backpack. I'm going to beat that glitter out of the way. And there are 2 strains of Corny v. Russ the 19th. Pretty cool? Was that fun? Okay, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and stay online for a little bit. If you've got questions, let me know. Peace.